So check the gist, y'all. Welcome back to the Check the Gist podcast. This is your host, Christian Jackson. And today, I just have a couple of things we're going to get into. Some NBA season outlooks, over and unders. And then we're also going to get into our segment, of course, Give Me the Gist. So if you need a little reminder, Give Me the Gist, where you guys basically submit just different issues or just different questions to me. So you give me the gist, and I'm going to give you the gist right back. You know what I'm saying? Maybe with some quotes, different stuff like that. So let's get into it. So the first one. What do you think is the best way to overcome the illusion of self-doubt? This is from my man Save. Of course, if you want to remain anonymous, you can remain anonymous. If you don't put anything, I'll just keep you anonymous. If you put your name out, I'll say it. But that was actually really good one, and I really do like the use of the word illusion, because at the end of the day, yes, it is an illusion. And the first thing that came to my mind was when Steph Curry talked about him having imposter syndrome. And that's Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time, my favorite player of all time, saying that he had imposter syndrome. So in an interview for Curry Inc., which is just a CNBC sports production centered around Curry's career and business aspirations, you know what I'm saying? Curry brand. That's UA though. But yeah, he said, I'm human, like everybody. You have doubts about yourself. You have imposter syndrome at times. Matching the God-given abilities and the work ethic and just being able to lose myself in the game, I think, is a good formula. We all like to be a better husband, a better father, more present at times. Just because we're pulled, I'm pulled. Steph Curry, in a lot of different areas. Now, he said that he embraced the pressure that comes along with being a star and a basketball player and public figure. All of these realities are wild to me. And sometimes you just got to get out of your own way and enjoy it. First off, you're human. We're all human. And we're all going to struggle with self-doubt. We're all going to feel like, man, why is he over there? Why is he over there? Why is he doing this? How did he get there? That's the first thing. It's always comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy. You got to live your life. You got to enjoy your life. At the end of the day, it's you. Nobody else can live your life. Nobody else can be you. So at the end of the day, just be you. You have doubts about yourself. Maybe imposter syndrome. You can see that's the greatest greatest point guard of all time saying something like that, where he feels like he's not, really himself. And that kind of just encapsulates the whole idea of self-doubt. It's a human thing. It's a human feeling. We're all going to feel like we're not enough at some point. But you have to keep reassuring yourself, keep taking in the positive energy, the good vibes. And at the end of the day, you have to focus on yourself and work on yourself, because when you're secure in yourself, everything else follows. Everything else follows. Your relationships are going to improve. Your mental health is going to improve. Different things like that. And at the end of the day, you have your abilities. God gave you those abilities. So whether it is art, singing, rapping, content creating, God gave you those abilities. In sport, God gave you those abilities. So trust in God. Trust in yourself that you know what you can do. Because at the end of the day, if you make a mistake, that's life. That's humanity. We all make mistakes. Steph made mistakes. Braun made mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. So make the mistake and learn from it. At the end of the day, if you don't make any mistakes, someday it's going to hit you like a truck and you're just going to be down for the count because you never made no mistakes. You never allowed yourself to grow and learn from different things like that, from not being your best self. At the end of the day, align your intentions with those actions. If you want to come across as some way, then you have to start changing how you move, and you have to, make those actions fit those intentions. You want to be a good person, be a good person, do good things. Don't say you want to be a good person and then you go rob and steal and do and all this and that, because at the end of the day, that's not aligning your actions with your intentions. We all want to be better, but at the end of the day, we all just have to be present at the time and where you are now. Because when I look back at high school, and I wish I was just waiting to get to college. I was waiting to get out the house. I was waiting to have some freedom. But I feel like I miss a lot of living in the moment, just enjoying being a kid, enjoying not having responsibilities, enjoying people taking me places, me having to get picked up for certain places. And that's not because I was, maybe just like relying on other people. It's just being a kid, being free. more free than, some of this other stuff now. But at the end of the day, you're going to get pulled into a lot. School, work, relationships. You just got to stay grounded in you at the end of the day. And just remember who you are and who you want to be. Now, all of these realities are wild, Tim. Sometimes you just got to get out of your own way and enjoy it. Enjoy life. Life is beautiful. Nature is beautiful. People are beautiful at the end of the day. I used to say, I hate people. I hate this and that. But like, as time goes on and I really take a step back and analyze certain people, I really realize how cool humanity can get and like how cool people are, no matter their background, no matter where they're from. At the end of the day, people are really cool. And if you get to know them and you get to explore other people and stuff like that, it does get really cool. And you get to see life for what it is. And that's just people trying to make it, people trying to do what they want to do. Or, people trying to do what they want to do. So that's the second installment of Give Me the Gist. And basically, that's just what it's going to be every time. Just give me some questions, give me some, give me the gist. And I'm going to give y'all the gist right back. At the end of the day, we're all just people. We're all just learning. And with your situations and stuff like that, I can learn for myself. And I can help you, maybe apply certain things to your life. So next, we have NBA over and unders and the season outlook. So when I was going through, I was looking at some of these over and unders, and some of them did get a little crazy. So we're going to start off with the Jazz at 18.5 wins. And this is going to be my first lock, actually. So I'm going to lock this one at over, because you look at Ace Bailey, you look at Larry Markkinen, you look at Bryce Sensabaugh, you look at Keontae George, you look at Walker Kessler. I like their young talent, and I like how they mesh well together. We're going to see that a lot, where teams just have an abundance of young talent. Look at the Rockets a few years ago. An abundance of young talent not really meshing well together. The Wizards, an abundance of young talent right now, doesn't really mesh well. The Jazz, I like how they mesh, and I wouldn't be shocked if they had 30 wins this year. They're not, but I wouldn't be shocked. Now, like I said, over and under could be 1 win over, 1 win under. It all depends on the over-under. The Nets, 19.5. You got MPJ. You lose Cam Johnson. You do have re-signed Cam Thomas. You do have some nice rookies coming in. You know what I'm saying? Yegor Demon and stuff like that. So I'm going to go over on them. And they're going to be learning a lot, so I would not be surprised if they ended with 16 wins this year. But I could see them getting 20, 21 wins maybe. Yeah. The Wizards, 20.5. We're going to go under. Like we talked about with the mesh, they do have some bets coming in like CJ McCollum. You lose with Jordan Poole and stuff like that. But I'm not really too excited for the Wizards. They do have a lot of young talent, a lot of guards. And that's not going to be very conducive to winning this year. So yeah, we're going to go under on the Wizards, 20.5. That could be 19 wins. That could be 18. That could be whatever. But I don't like the Wizards at over 20 wins. Now the Hornets, 26.5. This is going to matter a lot. This is going to depend a lot on LaMelo's health, Brandon Miller's health, and just really those two, for being honest. You lose Mark Williams on the Suns now. But yeah, 26.5. Colin Knippel. He could be a game changer for them, but he has to shoot that pill. Preseason, not really shooting that pill too well, but I expect him to get that back up. College, he was shooting crazy. Around 40%. Yeah, Colin Knippel shot over. Yeah, Colin Knippel, 40% in college. I mean, shooting around 37% in preseason, that's not going to get you. I mean, you have to adjust to the speed, the length of the three-point, all that. So I'm not too worried about that. And I feel like they'll be decent. 26.5, I'll go over because I expect LaMelo and B-Mill to be there. So yeah, that shouldn't be too crazy. I'm going to lock that. That's my second lock. Hornets over, as long as we healthy, of course. Not we, them. Now the Suns, 30.5. You get Devin Booker. Jalen Green now, but you do have Dylan Brooks now. Mark Williams, you do lose Kevin Durant, you do lose Bradley Beal, which is a plus in a way. But the Suns, I feel like D-Book gonna be hooping. He gonna be on a different timing this year. You get his team back. Give me over 30.5 for the Suns. Now the Pelicans, they're gonna be a very fun team to watch. I'm calling it now. This is gonna be my second favorite team. Of course, the Warriors, but You got Jordan Poole, you got Looney, you got Derek Queen, you got Zion, you got Trey Murphy. I love this team. I would love for them to be over. And they're going to be over. They're going to be over 30.5 wins. Could be 36. I wouldn't be shocked if they had 36 wins this year. I feel like they can shock the league. Jeremiah Fierce. We're going to see. But I do have high hopes for the Pelicans. I do hope that they are decent this year. Just decent. You just got to be decent. We're not trying to be, you know what I'm saying? Now the Bulls, 32.5 wins. I'm just letting you know. It's under. So what? You have Vucevic. You do have, what? Modest Bruzelis is a bucket. And a lot is going to depend on him. Giddey got the extension. But I will say I am very excited to see Modest Bruzelis, especially when he gets a little bit more opportunity, a little bit more of that green light. I really feel like he can surprise a lot of folks this season, no question. The Bulls at 32.5. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go under. But I wouldn't be shocked if they're over, of course. Now, the Kings at 34.5, they have pieces. Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Sabonis, Westbrook now, Malik Monk. That's really ugly. It's a really ugly match. It's a really ugly fit. But that kind of is what it is at some point. But yeah, 34.5, I'm going under. It's the Kings. They're chill. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they go over. Of course, these lines are meant to be right there, but I feel like they'll go under. The Trailblazers, 34.5. I think I'm gonna go over. There's some hoopers. You got Denny. Denny, end of the season, he was on a tear. You got Shane Sharp taking that next jump, I hope. Scoot Henderson hopefully taking that next jump. I think Dame will probably be out for this entire year. Donovan Clingan take that next jump. Hopefully he's ready to play real starter minutes, real NBA minutes, 30 plus a game, because he is a force, a demon on that defensive end especially. I wouldn't say I'd have him over Wemby in blocks and, defensive effort, but he's up there and he's going to be he's going to shock some people. I would say he's going to shock some people on that defensive end and just in general as a center. Now the Pacers, 35.5 wins. Over. I'm actually smashing. That's a lock. The Pacers will go over that. You got Pascal back. Nembhard's going to take a jump. Hopefully take a big jump. But at the end of the day, this team's fresh off a championship, so they have that championship pedigree, that championship DNA, that toughness with them. So I feel like they're going to come out blazing out of the gates. I wouldn't be surprised. And I just feel like it'll be up from there. So I'm going to lock the Pacers at a 35 plus. 35.5 plus. Now the Heat, 37.5. We're going over as well. Tyler Hero is going to be out to start the season, but Jonas he's a bucket. He's a guy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very excited to see him, especially with Bam and then when Tyler Hero comes back, plus Norman Powell. I really do like the Heat this year. Not like the Heat, but I do feel like they'll. I wouldn't be shocked they get 40 plus wins this year. So that 37.5 really isn't too daunting, I'd say. The Raptors, as you can see from my face, I'm not really sure about the Raptors this year. They have a lot of pieces, but like we said, that mesh, that fit, it's kind of ugly. You got that Scotty, you got Emmanuel Quickly, you got Ingram, you got RJ Barrett. The Raptors are an interesting team, and I'm not too excited to see them play. I'm not really too excited for them this season. But who cares what I'm excited for? But I will say that I don't like the 38.5 for them. Now the Grizzlies, 39.5. Ja or Triple J goes out, they are cooked. They're cooked. Knock on wood, of course, but it's almost a given every year now, it seems. So we're gonna go under on the Grizzlies, 39.5. I'm not too geek for the Grizzlies. Next up, Mavericks, 40.5. This is going to depend on a lot of AD's availability, because I feel like Cooper Flag is going to come out guns blazing. You feel me? And I wouldn't be shocked if Cooper's averaging 25 and 5 by the end of the year, especially with Kyrie out, some of his opportunities. It's going to be hard to get his buckets, but let's not forget that Cooper Flag was essentially an NBA player about 2 summers ago playing against Team USA and different stuff like that. He was a standout. He was giving them work. He was giving them the business. He was giving them that flagpole. The Mavericks, we're going to go over. And I'm excited to see them play. I wouldn't be shocked if they're under, though, especially if AD goes out and different stuff like that. This team should be solid, though. The Celtics, 41.5. I like it. No JT. Jaylen Brown will be there at some point, hopefully. Got Peyton Pritchard stepping up. Anthony Simons. You do lose Al Horford. You do lose some pieces. Drew Holiday. I'm not really too excited for the Celtics this year. You do have a great coach in Joe Mazzulla, but he's gonna have them hooping. He's gonna have them fighting. 41.5 though. I wouldn't be shocked because I don't think that they're going to be overly pressing to have a play-in spot. Like, that's just, as a smart franchise, they're not one of them. They're not going to be going out of their way to be an 8th seed. You know, if they see by midseason where they're at, if they're towards the bottom of the standings, they might just punt the season and you know, go from there. Now the Sixers, Joel Embiid is back, at least for now. BJ Edgecombe he's a hooper, and he's going to come out. I wouldn't be shocked if he won Rookie of the Year over Cooper Flagg. If Cooper Flagg, you know what I'm saying, struggle early. I don't anticipate that, though. But BJ Edgecombe is a piece. Jeremy McCain, when he comes back, will be a piece. I am really excited for the 76ers, 42.5. 42.5, it all depends on Joel Embiid. If Embiid is there for 41 games, they'll easily be over that. But it all depends on Embiid's availability, because if he starts the season and then he's out for 2-3 months, just wipe it, punt the season, and it's good. So yeah, we're gonna go 76ers over 42.5. I like that. As long as Embiid is healthy, as long as they can stay healthy, I like that. Now the Bucks, 43.5. I'm gonna go under. Giannis is gonna be hooping. He's gonna be playing his ass off, but I'm not really too excited to see them play. Of course, I'm excited to see Giannis play, but the rest of the pieces, AJ Green, nice extension in the offseason. He's going to be a nice piece for them. But at the end of the day, the Bucks, they're going to be the Bucks. They lose Dame. They get Miles Turner. 43.5. Giannis going to be hooping, bro. Over on the Bucks. Over on the Bucks. Spurs, 43.5, over. I don't really need to say anymore. As long as Wemby stays healthy, they'll be over that. No question. Lock that. Now the Pistons, 45.5. This is where I'm not too sure, right? Because on one hand, it's telling me they're going to take another step, but on another hand, you lose Jaden Ivey for at least the first part of the season. And at the end of the day, like, it's the Pistons. So I am pretty excited to see them play. Especially, I'm really just trying to see K's a guy. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Pistons ended with 41 wins this year. Last year, 44-38. This year, 45 or 46 is the line for. It's not too much over. You lose Malik Beasley, so I wouldn't be shocked if they take a step back. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go under on the Pistons, 45.5. Nah, I'm going over. Cade Cunningham. Need I say more? I'm not gonna lie. I like that, and I feel like they're gonna be hooping. So yeah, we're gonna go over on the Pistons. Lakers, 46.5. I'm going over. LeBron will be there at some point. Luka's already gonna have this team at 40+ wins, just being there by himself, and it looks like he's gonna be a lot healthier this season. I hope. You got AR. You got DeAndre Ayton. It's looking like JJ Redick got my man's Ayton hooping like a real center now. Like, he's really dogging. But yeah, let me pause on that because you don't know. You don't know Ayton. But I do feel like the Lakers are going to have a pretty nice season, especially with Luka at the head of that snake. Like, I like the Lakers this year. 46.5 over. Warriors, 46.5. As a Warriors fan, I just want to lock the over. But as a basketball fan and what I've been seeing the past few years, I'm not too sure. I mean, we got to get through this season. We got the super unction this year. We got, if you have Steph, Jimmy, Draymond, Al Horford starting, that's 4 guys over 35 years old, just right there. So those young legs are really going to have to show out for us. Pods, Kuminga has to hoop. Kuminga, you got to buy into a role. Whatever your role is, I don't know if you have a role. But you say you don't have a role. Steve Kerr says you don't have a role. Why are you on the team? At the end of the day, like, we got to do what's best for us, and I don't feel like Kuminga's best for us. So I feel like it's just better for both sides to part ways. because we're holding him back, no question. We've been holding him back since the day he got on this door, because Kuminga wants to be a certain type of player. He wants to be a star player. He can't be that on the Warriors with how he plays. It's like as soon as he touches the ball, it's like a black hole. He wants to score. He wants to, the blinders are on. And he's trying to get to that bucket. You feel me? So it all just depends. And a lot is going to have to depend on Steph's health, of course, and then Jimmy's health. So if Steph goes out, Jimmy's got to be there. We're not really worried. If Jimmy goes out, Steph going, you know what I'm saying? Different stuff like that. So like, the common denominator is Steph. If Steph plays over 70 games, I'd say, or 65 games. Ooh. If Steph plays over 70 games, I like this over. If he plays under, I go under. But yeah, my answer, 46.5. My pride really wants to say over, but my gut is telling me go under, and that really hurts. That really hurts. So I'm gonna go under on the Warriors, 46.5. I'm going over. Yeah, Hawks 46.5. I like the Hawks this year, especially with Trae Young, Jalen Johnson coming back. Jalen Johnson's going to take it. If you don't know the name Jalen Johnson right now, give it a week. You feel me? Give it a week. You pick up Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Kristaps. Of course, Kristaps has to be healthy. We don't know what's up with Kristaps. But the Hawks, I do like them this year. I'm not as high on them as most are, or maybe I am. 46.5 wins though. 46.5 wins. Yeah, we're gonna go over. 46.5. We're gonna go over for the Hawks. Now, 47 wins for the Hawks. Screw it. Clippers, we're locking this over. I like this. I love it actually. 47.5. Kawhi's gonna be there to start the season. We got Chris Paul back. James Harden. I feel like the Clippers are going to shock some people, especially with Zubac. A lot of people don't know about Zubac, I feel like, and he's one of the best centers in the league, which is the craziest part. You got John Collins back. He'll probably be coming off the bench. And I do like Brook Lopez backing up. That was hard forgetting. Bradley Beal. If you see my face went blank for a second, it's because I was thinking about, like, who's on this team? And I was thinking about Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is going to add a different piece. It's almost like it might be a supercharged Norman Powell. It might be just Bradley Beal. So we'll see. I do love Brook Lopez backing up Zubac. That's going to be big. Especially you get kind of the same look, but you get that spacing from Brook Lopez. You get that spacing, and he can knock it down. Now, like I said, like Al Horford, like we're just, he going to get some guidance at Quentin Post and all that, but we going to see. Now, the Timberwolves, 49.5 wins. My gut telling me go under, but Ant's a dog, so I'm going to go over. Rob Dillingham, he might get some more PT this year. He will get some more PT this year, so we're going to see about that. But I just feel like Ant going to be dogging. He's going to take a big leap. So, yeah, we're going to go over on the T-Wolves. Magic, 50.5, over. Pick up Desmond Bane. I really like the Magic this year. They were looking like one of the best teams in the league before Paulo went out with his injury earlier on the season. So I just feel like building on top of that, plus adding Desmond Bane on top of one of the top defenses in the league, it's going to get pretty scary. So I'm going over on the Magic. Rockets, 52.5, lock over. That's no question. Reed Shepard's looking pretty good. KD's back. KD's there now. You got Amen Thompson. He gonna be hooping. Uncle Jeff, it's like nah. But Jabari Smith, he's been locked in with KD since he stepped in the door, since he stepped in Houston. So that's gonna be pretty big to see, pretty exciting to see. Just hopefully becoming more fluid with his game, and that's really what I want to see. The defense is always going to be there. The Rockets, they're going to be locking down, and I really just like their big lineup. You can have Sengun, KD, Jabari Smith Jr., Steven Adams, Amen Thompson. That's in one lineup. That's scary. And you got Reed Shepard, different stuff like that. So the Rockets are going to be a pretty. I wouldn't be shocked if they won this championship. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not saying maybe this year, next year might be the year for them. I will say. So we'll see. Knicks 53.5. We're going to go over because the Celtics are going to take a step back. You do up other teams like the Magic and the Hawks that are going to be stepping up. And I feel like the Knicks kind of feel like they might be proving a little bit. You're going to have a different look with Mike Brown, more offensive looks. So I feel like their offense is going to they might be the best offense in the league. I wouldn't be shocked at it because Mike Brown's going to transform this team, hopefully, because you just have too much ISO ball with the amount of weapons that are on that team. I mean, Brunson, Cat, Mikal, OG, that's just 4 right there. Plus, you got Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench now, possible 6th man of the year. I don't know about all that. You look at DeAndre Hunter from the Hawks and different stuff like that. So we'll see what the Knicks do. I am pretty excited to see them play. So we're going to go over on the Knicks. Nuggets 53.5. You got Cam Johnson this year. Got Michael Porter Jr. out of there. I don't think they really like Michael Porter Jr. But Jokic is going to be an MVP candidate year in, year out. And he's almost entering Bron territory where we know he's an MVP. We know he's the best player in the league, but you got to go elsewhere because that's just how the voting is, I guess, Best player in the league is not going to get the MVP every year. That's just how the cookie crumbles. So yeah, we're going to go over 53.5 for the Nuggets. I think I'm over on a lot of these. So we might go under on the Celtics. I think I went under. I'm going backwards, by the way. I'm just trying to make sure, yeah, that sounds about right. And then boom, Cavs 56.5. I like them, especially with Emo. He might. I'm not gonna say MVP conversations this year, but Emo has that it factor. I say. I wouldn't say all that, but he definitely has that defensive capability with that offensive side rising up every year. And I love the pickup of Lonzo Ball. I don't like, you lose out on Ty Jerome, but Ty Jerome, he's a hooper at the end of the day. He's going to get his wherever he gets his. But Lonzo, he's really going to play into that role. He's not really worried about scoring. He's trying to dish out that ball. He's trying to find people when they're open, when they're not open. Lonzo Ball is just dishing that ball out, and that's what you want from your backup PG. But he can also run at the 3 with DG, D-Mitch, Zoe, Allen, Emo. I like this team a lot. Feel like it can get a little scary. Now, you do have to make it out the East. You do have to make it past the Knicks. You do have to make it past the Magic. You do have to make it past the Hawks. You can't overlook your opponent like last year. You saw nobody had the patience beating the Cavs. Nobody had that. I don't care what you say. And at the end of the day, hopefully they take that experience of last year, that disappointment of last year, and they build on it and they dominate. Because they opened the season, 22-game winning streak or something like that? It was something crazy. They were hooping to begin the season. So you can't get burnt out, and you can't take last year's success or non-success and, bring it over this year. You just got to work. You just got to hoop. The Thunder, 62.5. Now, I've been saying kind of before a lot of people started saying it, but I saw the parallels because I'm a Warriors fan. I saw the parallels of the Thunder dynasty. So, all right, it's not a dynasty, but you see, it was kind of different makeup, but you do have the Shea, that big 3. And then the Warriors just kind of built on it. So, they went 67 and 15 that first year with Steve Kerr. And the next year, after Kyrie and Caleb went out, they was like, you know what, they really didn't even respect this ring, so we better go out and punch them in their mouths. 73-9, started the season off 24-0. But you burn yourself out. You're putting your all into the regular season when you don't have to do that. When you know you're the best team in the league, you know you're going to be at the top. You just got to get into the playoffs and you got to hoop from there. Now, 62.5, I feel like they're smashing that. That's over. They can 66, 67. I wouldn't be shocked. All right, 70, they're not getting 70 because I don't think that they're putting that much emphasis into the regular season. They're trying to get another ring. They're trying to get to that 16-game sample size. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't be oh my gosh, the Thunder didn't get 63 wins this year. I wouldn't be shocked at that because at the end of the day, you have to learn from history. You have to learn from past teams. And you have to learn that the regular season, at the end of the day, it does matter, but it doesn't matter as much as those 16 games gonna matter. All that saying, we're going over in the Thunder because the heck, it's the Thunder. So they're gonna be hooping, and that's pretty much the end of the over and unders. So we had some locks in there. I know we locked the Jazz over. I I can't even lock the Thunder over, because at the end of the day, like, I like them and I like their over, but I don't like it that much. I don't like it that much. So we're gonna see. I am really excited for this season. Different, especially the Pelicans. I don't know why I know I'm so geeked for the Pelicans. I got some fan favorites on that team, but I mean, we're gonna see what this season holds. Season tips off tomorrow, so I should have this video out tonight. That's the plan. Season tips off Monday, not Tuesday. Thunder, Rockets, KD return, you know what I'm saying? Ring ceremony. And then Warriors, Lakers, no LeBron though, so that kind of sucks. Satiat or whatever, he's old. I do got LeBron at over 1.5 seasons, because I feel like he's going to finish the season, he's going to wrap the season up. He's going to try and be as healthy as possible. He's going to announce that farewell tour, that decision 3, I guess, because that other one was wild. I'm not going to lie. The decision 2 for Lavaka or whatever it was, that was crazy. Because I'm not going to lie, my mans, he had showed it to me, right? And I was like, you know what? It's either, I was like, he can't troll with the decision, because like it carries so much weight, especially from the last one. So I'm like, it might be the farewell tour. He trolled. Game is game, though. You can't really be too mad at that. He capitalized like, Bron gonna get his bread. So yeah, some other quick announcements before, not announcements, just some more NBA news. Durant got his 2-year extension. I think only 90 mil for 2 years. So I know he did not take that max. They talked to Min Thompson. He was like, he's a generous guy, Like I said, Embiid was back, 14 in the preseason. He was hooping. As long as he can stay healthy, they're going to be crazy, because Embiid's looking like Embiid. I'm not going to lie. Maybe just not as physical, because, you got to protect yourself a little more. Sabonis is going to be out for at least a week with a hamstring injury. Christian Brown agrees to a $125 million extension. So they're paying their guys, the Nuggets. They're going to be hooping. So we're going to see. It should be a pretty good season. I should have the NBA recap or opening night recap up tomorrow night or Wednesday morning, one of the two. We're going to get it out regardless, though. All right, so I'm going to see you on the next one. I'm not going to hold y'all too long. You know what I'm saying? We got some videos this week. So thank you for checking out. This is the 3rd episode of the Check the Gist podcast. We're going to have more in store for you, and we're going to have more in store for you in both ways. So remember, stay safe, y'all, and always remember to check the gist.